I want Jorge Masvidal to get his money. I do want him to get his money. All I'm saying is that there's just better ways to go about it. That's all I've said for weeks. Is that go talk about it directly, deal with it. That's how I would do it. That's all I'm saying. But hey, look, don't listen to me, right? Don't listen to me. Like I'm only the guy that's gotten every single opportunity that I've ever really like tried to get or asked for. I've gotten paid fairly. I'm just that guy, right? So like don't listen to what I've done when my experiences obviously can't help when in reality they've all are for the most part been very good. Look, I'll tell you this about when I negotiated with the UFC for the first time when I left Strike Force, I wanted more money. And I was in there with Lorenzo Fertitta and Dana White. What year was that when Strike Force went? When we went
2000, yeah, they
2012?
bought it in 2011, going into 2012. You debuted in 2012.
13, when I was going to fight
13.
Rashad
Right.
Evans at 205. It was when I was going to fight Rashad Evans. It was my third fight in the UFC. I was on my Strike Force contract, so I was making decent money. I think I was making like 60 and 60 or something. I thought that was pretty good back in the day. I thought I fought Roy Nelson for something like that. And in Strike Force, I was making 15 grand. So 60 and 60 for me was crazy. But when I went to renegotiate my contract, I wanted 100 and 100. That's what I wanted to get paid. I was like, man, if I can get to 100 and 100, I'm good. And I was in the office. And when I told them what I wanted, they yelled at, like Dana yelled. He went crazy. He was mad. He was like, oh, we can't pay. We don't know what you're going to be. We're not going to pay a guy 100 and 100 and all this, right? And so I said, okay. And I was like, that's fine. I said, I said, okay, then I'll just fight Rashad and I'll be out of contract and then we'll see what happens, right? And I was like, okay, I'm going to leave. This is what I told him. And Dana was on the phone. He wasn't there, but Lorenzo was there. And I got to be honest, I was in the middle. I was okay with like 75 and 75. But I figured if I wanted 100 and 100, ask for it. Let's see what happens. But if I can get 75, 80, and 80, I'll be good. That's $30,000 more than I was making. And so I left. Me and Bob left. And Lorenzo at the door was like, we'll call you, because Dana was going crazy. And that's when I was like, hey, man, this dude, he's mad. I'm asking for his money. I get it. Anyways, by the time I got to the airport, Lorenzo called me and we came up with a number that was fair to me. And that's what I made. Like, I was like, okay, that's fine. But I was like, okay, even though we didn't agree, I was like, okay, then I'll just fight it out and see what happens. And then they thought about it. They came back to a number. I think that was the beginning of when stuff started to kind of, because I didn't get 100 and 100, right? I didn't get what I was asking for, but I got what I was okay with taking. And I think it might have been 80 and 80 or something like that, going up by like $5,000 or $10,000. So it didn't take me much longer to get to 100 and 100. But I was kind of willing to work a little bit on that side, and they were willing to work with me. And that's probably been the most contentious negotiation that we've had.
Wow.
Outside of that, like, and that's really not that bad, is it? But I was like, okay. You don't have to give it to me. I'll win the fight, and then we can talk about this whenever I'm done, or a free agent. And that was it. But that was essentially all it took. But it was done behind closed doors. And that was in 2012 or 2013. And 7 years later, I'm telling the story finally. But it's like it really wasn't that bad.
Well,
But I did it behind closed doors.
It's a good move on your part to show that you have butted heads with Dana.
Yeah, I have.
Everyone thinks that you're part of the
No,
corporation.
shut up.
This
Shut
is a
up.
good
Shut
PR
up. You see,
campaign
this is
on
what
your
I'm talking about. You spin the narrative. You're so good at it. I gotta watch you.
This is good.
But it wasn't but the contract negotiations haven't always been smooth, is what I'm saying.
Right.
But because it was done behind closed doors, even though it wasn't all like roses and freaking ice cream, right? Dana yelled. I yelled. I said my part. He said his part. And then we just, okay, well, then it doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for me. We'll figure it out. But less than an hour later, we had figured it out because it was better for me to sign than to go and become a free agent at freaking 15 and 0, or 13 and 0, whatever I was at the time. So it got done. And I think that in a lot of these negotiations that can happen. But I don't understand why Jorge Masvidal is taking shots at me. I'm not trying to say he shouldn't get his money. And then last thing I heard, Ariel, he got his money. right? He got the money that he was asking for initially, I think, right? Like he
At the
wanted what he
11th
got paid for
hour
Diaz.
on Monday. Yep.
So he got it. So what happened now? You know what I'm
Well, I
saying?
think he wanted more than Diaz. He ended up the issue was they were offering him less to fight Usman than he got for Diaz. And on Monday of last week, one last effort was, all right, we'll give you the same that you got for Diaz. And he wanted more than what he got for Diaz. And also at that point, like the damage was kind of done. And it seemed like, the train had left the station.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.